Hey guys, how's it going? Dutchman Games here, and today we're going to make a realistic forest path scene in Unreal Engine 5 using free assets only. This will be a beginner friendly tutorial that will show you how to set everything up from scratch. But first off, let's get the right assets. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to go to the fabstore.com, click on the search bar, go to Unreal Engine, and then from here, what you want to do is you want to click on Auto Landscape. And then you want to find the price free, and then Landscape Pro 2.0 Auto Generator. Now this one is free, so you can use this one as you want, and it has a lot of nice assets that we're going to use. I've actually used this one in one of my previous videos as well, so you could just add this to your library, and yeah, we can use this one perfectly. Then also, you want to go back to Unreal Engine, type in Good Sky, and then you want to click on Good Sky. This one's free as well, and you want to add Good Sky because we're going to need this one as well. Alright, so here we are in Unreal Engine 5. Now, first what I want to do is we want to go to our content browser and find SDF. That will be the landscape system that we're going to use. Then you want to click on File, New Level, click on Empty Level, and Create. And we're also going to already save it. So save level as, and call it Level 3 Forest Path, or something like that. Because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a path through a forest with hills on each side. So let's go to landscape, and let's create a 100 by 100 by 100 landscape for now. And then we need to have a landscape material for this. So let's go to the landscape materials in here, or what we can just do is type in landscape, and then in here we should find the actual landscape material that we need to use. Here it is, Landscape Pro V2, and then there's no tessellation in default, so let's just take the standard one, put it in there, click on create, and now we have a fully black landscape. You need to go to paint, and you need to select all these layers. I have no idea why I see these icons. Yeah, that's what I thought. That was probably just a bug. So let's create all these layers just like we did in the one of the first level design tutorials I made. We just want to add all these layers to it. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. And everything is set to layer 1, which means that once I sculpt this, it will turn into a hill eventually. As you can see, the material is turning into a hill, which is great, which is fantastic. It's exactly what we need. So let's create the basics of our map. This we can do very easily. Just grab the tool strength, put it to 50, make it a little bit bigger, and then let's say we start from here. The idea is that we start from a gate from like the castle or the dungeon. So we will make that later, but let's just make like a hillside, just very quickly, like that. Make a little corner here, and then it will go into a corner, and then it will go here, and then that'll be the end of the map. It's a very short map. That's okay, because we just want to create a quick map here. And actually, it's a lot bigger than we think. You know, so you can also maybe, let's just make it a lot, let's make it a lot smaller. So let's flatten this out again, and sculpt it like this. And then this is the end and this is the beginning. Very simple, I know, but I'm just going to make the base. And then you want hills behind here, right? So we want there to be hills behind the initial hills, which is quite important to do. So, you know, in the back here, there can be actually like a mountain almost. You know, and the further you go, the higher you can make them. It has to be built up like that. So, you know, we can actually increase the brush size or increase the strength, I mean, and, you know, it will go even faster. There you go. And then just, you know, hill landscape on the side. All right, this looks good. So this will be our base level. Just a quick loop like that. And there's going to be trees everywhere. And the important thing is that this hill area here, so, you know, there's going to be a rock here, and that's going to showcase our entrance. But this hill on the side has to be a lot smoother. So let's actually smooth that out so it's not as crazy. Let's actually increase the tool strength by a lot and kind of just smooth that out so it's not too sudden, you know, because the path, you know, will definitely show what the path is. But, you know, like that, you can flatten it out and then you have an exact path like that. But it mustn't be that crazy. And then we're going to grab erosion and we're going to erode all these hillsides like that. Kind of shape the mountain in them, if that makes any sense. Doing this will actually really give a lot more character to the hills and make them look a lot more realistic. Because you're hand sculpting these and it's easy to get, you know, these hills that look just like round balls. You actually need some sculpting in them. They have to be a little random and they have to be a little, oh yeah, sculpted. Okay, like that. There we go. There we go. And then you can take the smooth and then smooth out the sides of the hill. Otherwise, it looks weird. I think that's about right. And this we can just keep the way it is. Oh, we can erode it a little on the top. Like that. There we go. All right. Let's add the Good Sky. So we downloaded Good Sky. Just plunk that in. Super easy. And here's the preset. So let's add some put the clouds on middle. Or actually, yeah, middle. And then set the time to, let's put the time on sun. Let's actually just put a mid, yeah, the default sky. Not the default sky, but maybe morning sky. There we go. And then we also need a directional light. There we go. And we need a skylight. There we go. And now we have our basics set up. So let's say the beginning of the map will be right here. See how massive this is? I always get like whoa, like it's way bigger than I thought it was gonna be. All right, so anyway, that's fine though. We can make a path in here and shorten it up. So yeah, this will be the this is the base map we have. So let's make a path which we will follow in this level. So go to paint and go to just take layer 3, no plants, and then make it a little smaller, make it a little stronger. And then we will just have to kind of like make a path. And this will be path, and then we have this turn and twist here, and then here it will end. Right here will end. So that'll be the level. And as you can see, this looks pretty cool, but it's a little too sudden, you know. So let's add a little bit of puddles to that. And this might be a long video, guys, because I'm not sure how long I'm going to take to do all this for you guys. But here we go. Add some puddles. Just add just on some places. Maybe here there's actually a really big puddle. We can actually add some water here later. So this will make more sense. And then more puddles, puddle. And then here, just add some puddles here and there. There we go. And then we take layer, let's say layer 6. Make it a lot less strung, so you can actually place a lot of them. And then just place some of this. Actually, you can just hold it and just like go over it a little. And it'll slowly change the path to be a little bit more unique. There we go. And these are also kind of puddles, but a little bit different. And then we just take the actual one with the plants, and then also put some of this. So you kind of fade out the path. And some moments in the path there actually is a lot of plants. In some places there is more plants than in other places. You kind of gotta make it look random, you know, gotta make it look unique. You know, like this. You'll get that. It has to still be like a clear path, but it can be a little overgrown. So this is good for now. Let's add that water we wanted to add here. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to sculpt and then go to erosion and then just put it all down. There we go. And then you want to paint it over for a layer with no plants. And then just paint this whole thing with layer with no plants. And actually do puddles in it as well. And then we are going to selection mode, and then we're going to the SDF water plane. Oh, I don't know why that happened, but water plane, and add some water to that. There we go. And now it's a little bit of a too much of a like open like it's too much of a circle, right? So let's erode it a little bit here. Let's erode a little bit over here. Oh, that's way too much. There we go. That's a little bit better. And now we have a little bit more of an interesting path going here. Now what we need to do is we need to actually make this path count. So what we're going to do now is we're going back to the landscape, go to sculpt, and then go to brush size, smaller brush size, smaller tool strength, and then just fill up the areas you don't want people to go a little bit more. Right, so we want them to just follow this path. Right, so you can build some hills here on the sides, a little bit more, you know, so it's clear that there's only one way you want them to go. And let's follow the path. So, and we're gonna fill all this up with plants and stuff, of course. So it'll be obvious for them. And then this will maybe go into a cave. And so let's build. We'll build the cave in a minute, but let's build the cave entrance, which will be right here. All right. Fill this up a little, fill this up a little. Like that. Okay, now we gotta go to foliage. This is going to be the interesting part here. We are going to look for static meshes. So go to this filter button right here, click on static mesh. And then from here on, we're going to select a few. First, we already have grass and all that stuff, which is good. So all we got to do is look for some trees and some bush maybe. How big is that? That's basically like a plant. So let's just get some trees. I don't know why it says the tree's dead in the description of the tree. Let's just take a look at these trees. So this one looks pretty good. Let's actually just look up tree. Right, so let's grab a few of these trees. Throw them in the foliage tool. Select them. And actually select like... Oh, I'm sorry. Select like 3 of them. And then you want to go to call distance. Set this to 7,000. And then you want to go back, select them all. Right? Select them all. And then, so a few of them will be call distance 7,000. The other ones won't have one. That's to make it optimized, but we can optimize it later too. And then set the density to just 1, and then align to normal off. If you keep align to normal on, it will actually spawn trees like that, and we don't want that. So just align to normal off. It will spawn them straight, or it will try to spawn them straight. Is the the better way of saying it. So this seems good. Let's get our brush, make it smaller. And let's paint some trees. So you just want to put trees basically everywhere. Especially around this pond, you know, and here. And we're gonna close off the sides, you know, so with borders, so people cannot go there even if they want to. But you know, it's still gotta place trees there so it looks real. All right, so just throw trees everywhere. Trees on here, some trees on here, some trees over here, some trees over here, some trees over there. You know, and then also up here, trees. A lot less up here though. Otherwise it's just gonna eat away at your CPU or your GPU or your memory and all that stuff. You don't want that to happen. So, but you do want to have enough trees where everything seems kind of luscious. And then up here is, of course, the cave. So let's go to landscape, paint, and let's create this layer with no plants. There we go. Oh, of course. This layer with no plants, and then tool strength to max, and then a little bit bigger. There we go. Oh god. That's too much. Okay, so now we have a lot of trees and all that stuff. So now what we need to do is we need to set up the details of this map in terms of static meshes. So well, we're gonna handle the door later, but let's build. Oh, that's weird, isn't it? So this will actually autocorrect itself once we build. This is because there used to be a hill here, not anymore, so that's why. So you can just ignore those. You can ignore that. So let's actually make. Let's take some of these rocks out. So this is a cliff mesh. We can actually use this perfectly on one of these sides on here. But for now, let's just use some rocks and place rocks everywhere. That's a little bit too big of a rock. Oh my god. I hate when Unreal Engine 5 does that. Seriously, Unreal Engine 4 works a lot better than 5 right now. It's so buggy. Okay, there we go. Just throw some rocks down. Makes everything look a lot better. Let's actually type in rock, and then we see everything we can use. Small rocks, fine too. We can make them a little bit bigger, or keep them that size. Another trick is to actually fold them inwards and outwards, so it looks like a whole different mesh than it would normally, which is funny. For example, on here you can put a rock and just kind of go through the map and place rocks down. So this looks kind of weird, right? So actually, let's change this layer here, because puddles don't do that. Puddles try to stay right up, and they don't fold like that. So rocks are very important when you're working with a riverside, because usually when there's like a river or like a little lake, there's rocks in them, and you can make some pretty cool looking vistas with that. So just throw rocks down here and there and everywhere, just along the path. Now on this side, there's actually maybe a good usage to use that cliff face that we had before. So, for example, we could do this, and then we have to remove the trees, of course. But you could make a little bit of cliff going like that. Like that. And then naturally these trees will have to... Actually, I think it looks kind of cool. Don't get too close to it, but it looks kind of cool actually. So, except for maybe this one. But you can repaint them on top. There we go. So you can kind of just, play with these assets, make them look cool. Place them down here and there. And yeah, place down. The back is, you have to make sure that people cannot see the back, but you can just place these rocks down. And then once we get, once you get over here, there's going to be the cave. And what we can do is we could just take these out, kind of make like a ceiling, if you will. Yeah, I need to kind of stretch out these assets, which is the only downside of that. But this way you can make a pretty cool looking cave. And you just want to fill up this top side of that. And then in terms of the sides, you can literally just place big rocks on the side. Like that. One over here. Like so. Like so. And then you also, what you need to do with this is you need to make sure, so let's get some rocks back. So you need to make sure that the inside, so the entrance to the cave is also a little blocked. Because caves are rarely just like open like that. You know, you can kind of play with that. And then this will be the new level or something like that. And once lightning is built, it will look a lot better because then it will actually look like it's a dark cave because the dynamic light doesn't actually get in here. So yeah, so we also learned how to make a cave in this episode now, which is nice. You know, and just to put some rocks here and there. You know, actually, let's add some more plants here as well, some more trees. There we go. All right. So we have our base map set up now. Let's really quickly make the entrance. So again, just like the other time, just like just now, I mean, we're going to kind of make like a rocky entrance to this with with the cliff rocks. And then here, there's going to be, so this is the only asset that we're going to use from the other pack. But we're actually going to use this, the dungeon door. And I think it's best to go to medieval dungeon blueprints. I think there's just a door. Yeah, there we go. So we're just literally going to use this. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay, we can't widen it, but make it a little bigger and then move the rocks into it a little. And then from that, we are going to add the pillars on the side and like the tall pillars like this. And then on here, it's just going to be rocks as well. You know, because you come from a dungeon and turns out the dungeon is completely underground as well. So this is where you start. So when we start a game, this is where we start. And this is the map we see. We still are missing some things. For example, the side here is a little open. So let's fill that up with some rocks as well, and some cliffs and some more trees. And this time we could actually, like, you can just make a rock go like that, and fold this one inside out so it looks different. And then you can get a tree, literally just oh, sorry, I need static mesh. Literally just put the tree down, make it a lot bigger, and just kind of try and fill the void that we left here. And that looks a lot better. So now what we need to do is we need to get fog, atmospheric fog, and fog has to be pretty dense. Set it to, there we go. And set the density like that. So there we go. And let's add a dead tree over here. Why not? And while I'm busy. And our game starts over here. So that's important. And then the post-processing, which, this is going to be a little bit more of a realistic game. So, make it 100 by 100 by 100. I think that's big enough. It is not. 200 by 200 by 200. There we go. This covers the map. And then we are going to add some post-processing to our map. So let's take a look at this scene over here. Add some bloom. Not too much, of course, but add a little bit of bloom. Get the exposure right. So let's set the min and max brightness to 0.9. And then let's add a little bit of depth of field. So 800 is usually 600 maybe 500. The lower it is, the less you can see in the distance. I think that's good. And then the temperature can be a little bit colder, I think. There we go. Saturation, we add 1.1 at the Y, 1.2, 1.1. There we go. So now our map looks a lot better than it did before. And then we still have this issue, right? I mean, this doesn't look all that good. And also the reflective capture here. So let's go to sphere reflection capture. And then put that above the water. Like that. So the water reflects everything in a good way. Add a tree where you see fit, kind of finish it off. It could be a tree here. It could be another tree over here. This is kind of weird, so let's change that. There we go. And then we have, this side of the hill that, looks kind of like a pattern, and it looks kind of weird. So let's actually just noise this up with sculpting it. So let's get some erosion out and just like make a little bit of a mess out of the patterns here that you see. Kind of, make it look less like a pattern, if that makes any sense. And it's also okay to maybe just sculpt a little here. Because we don't want it to look like a pattern. This is not good. And then once you've done that, you can add some trees and add some rocks. Rock? Oh, there we go. Because that really does take the monotony out of it a little. Make them bigger, make them smaller, kind of play with them. All right. Looks a little bit better. We still got some weird moments here, or some weird things going on here. So you just plunk a rock against it here, and then the rest of this setup we're just gonna ruin like that. Erode it, and then there we go. Okay, I think we're done for today. I think this is a good looking level. I am pretty happy with it. If yeah, it's a nice addition to our game. Let's actually build the lighting and see what it looks like once we've built it. So I'll show you guys how to do that real quick. You just go to build, lighting quality set to medium for now. You can set it to production, but it takes way too long. So for now, set it to medium and build lighting only. So there's one thing that I noticed while I was ending up here. The shadows are very dark. So let's maybe make the shadow amount a little bit less. Maybe put it at somewhere like this. Looks a little bit better. Once we go to the cave, we can really see how dark it gets in here. And oh, there's an opening there. But you know, this is what it is. You can always adjust that, but generally, let's keep the shadows a little bit lower. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you guys learned something, and hope you guys like and subscribe for this video. It really does mean the most if you guys can do that. And yeah, maybe in the next episode we'll go over on how to switch levels, or maybe work out a little bit more of an RPG game with this. Actually, don't like the way this rock, where you know, where the rock was. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys learned something from this long episode. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.